Await no longer. Greatness has arrived. Welcome to the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. I'm your host, Joseph, and just like every week, this whole episode is sponsored by patreon.com/make us better, where you are able to make us better, this podcast better, week in, week out, and we thank you for that. But more on that later. I want to introduce the best co-host in all the land. That's a fact. I stole that line, but it's a fact. It's real. Kyle, how you doing, Kyle?
I'm doing great, Joe. Not that anyone would know, but I've been without a car for about 3 days, so I've been stuck inside.
What happened? Why did someone take your car?
No one took my car. It needed work to be done on it in order for it to pass inspection. And it took way longer than what the guy said it would. So not only was I stuck inside, but I had to cancel a day of subbing today. Ooh. So I missed out on making money. But on the plus side, which we'll get into very soon, I got to play a lot of stuff.
Ooh, same here, and it's not just Fortnite. I'm really excited.
Nice. Okay.
I want to say, before we get into what we've been playing, and we'll talk about the PlayStation 4 and all E3 and controllers and Call of Duty, I want to say one thing. There's been some difficulty on iTunes with the podcast, and it's only on the mobile shitty app that you get with your phone. Please hang on. We're going to be fixing that next week. So this podcast, what's going to happen is, in layman's terms, real short, we're switching our RSS feeds. So what that essentially means is any episodes from episode 31 and previous are going to get wiped away, and there's nothing I could change on that. Luckily, though, all the podcasts that aren't total trash are saved. So, next week we're switching RSS feeds. It doesn't really do anything to hamper your experience. It should just make everything a whole lot better. So, with that all out of the way, Kyle.
Hey.
You say you've been playing games.
I have.
Prove it, Kyle.
Prove it. Okay. So, before I brought my car into the shop, it was a pro day at GameStop where they had a lot of really great deals on some pretty good stuff. So I picked up The Witcher 3, which I haven't started yet, but it was $20. So it's it was the complete edition.
The complete edition. Oh, this is
so great. I was like, $20. Yeah, I want to play it, so I'll just get it now. I picked up Burnout Paradise. And I picked up the Wipeout collection. So I'll start with,
if you don't mind.
It was $50 because I had a coupon too to went with it. So let's start with Burnout because going back before the pro day, I was playing Far Cry 5 and I got really burnt out on it and very frustrated over it. The glitches were overwhelming. It was I've not gotten past the first section.
Okay. Wow.
I believe it's Jacob is the first brother.
Yeah, you
I have
choose,
not.
But yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gotten past him yet because at times it feels unfair. The enemies are too hard. It feels like, and really? and I love Far Cry. I play all the Far Cry games, but there's glitches and stuff that's hampering my experience. So I was like, all right, I'm done. Okay. Whatever. Okay. Let me go pick up these games at GameStop. And the first one I tried was Burnout Paradise. Because I didn't play it back on PS3 or 360 or whatnot.
This is the remaster, right?
This is the remaster, yeah, on PS4 and other places. It's great. The soundtrack's pretty cool. I like hearing the throwback jams.
Yeah.
The open world has a lot of getting used to. A lot of if you haven't played it, you just drive around, and when you get to an intersection, you press the bumpers L2 R2, and it starts a race or other type of events type of thing. So that gets a little getting used to. Driving around aimlessly is fun because that's pretty much what you do. You knock over barriers and billboards and stuff. It's a fun chill out game. When you don't want to think about anything, you just throw it on and drive around. So I'm happy with that one.
Okay, cool.
And then after I gave racing a break, and I tried to tackle some of my backlog. Ooh. And so I decided to play South Park, Fractured But Whole.
And how are you liking that?
Not only did I like it, Joe, I platinumed it in 2 days.
What?
Yeah, man. I devoured that game. It
Holy
was
shit.
in my head. Even when I was playing Far Cry, I was like, "This is not the game I want to play after God of War." It's too serious, and it's plotting at points.
Right.
South Park was such a breath of fresh air. It was like the perfect palate cleanser from God of War. It makes me miss watching the show because I don't watch the show anymore.
Okay, yeah.
The jokes were perfect. The superhero setting was awesome. Amazing. The way they switched up the combat system from Stick of Truth to the new one is great. Like, they have movement tiles like a RTS.
Yep.
The powers are cool. The different classes were awesome to use. I loved every second of it, Joe. Have you ever played a South Park game?
I did. I played the Fractured Butthole. I didn't fall in love with it, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
But I mean, like, it was hilarious, but I maybe it was just in that holiday season. I'm thinking about actually picking it back up, not for the Nintendo Switch because it's an arm and a leg, just to get a downgraded version. But nonetheless, I've been thinking about picking that up. It's just, I don't know. It just kind of felt like a greatest hits album.
Yeah. Right? No, I totally get that. And that's not to say there's not things I didn't like about it. There's a lot of puzzle mechanics that get very repetitive later in the game, and the animation, seeing them every time, it gets a little old very quickly. But I still enjoyed my time with it, obviously, since I platinumed it so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then today I was like, let me try Wipeout out. Wipeout out. That's a weird back-to-back phrase. So I started it up and played it like normal, just like a regular racing game. It feels just like it used to. The soundtrack's awesome. Some nice techno, dubstep type of music that really, it gets the blood flowing. And the way they have it mixed in with the certain point of races, like if you're falling behind, the music kind of swells up to get you amped up and get your head back in the game. But then the main reason I bought it was because it has a VR component.
Ooh, so
like you can play
VR?
I tried it in VR, and boy, oh boy, Joe, it's really, really good.
Really?
Yes, it is.
Because I'm thinking of like Wipeout VR Vomit Simulator.
That's exactly what I thought. And the moment I started it in VR, a thing came up. It's like, hey, if you want to, what's the word I'm looking for? Freeze your camera to just the cockpit view. Yeah. You can. Or you can track it to your head, or everything's just free. Yeah, and I did just freeze it to the cockpit, and it was perfect. I was also afraid I was going to throw up all over the place because Wipeout is very much a fast roller coaster type of game. But man, it was great. It looks beautiful in VR. Yeah. You feel like you're in a futuristic racer type thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely. I'm definitely happy with that one the most that I bought on Saturday.
I hear that, dude. I'm really glad.
Yeah, man.
I've been playing 2 games, right? One game, Fortnite. Yeah, you heard it a million times. But I'm getting bored of it, Kyle. There's just so many times you could get a victory royale, like 5 or 6 times in one day.
I'm sure.
You know, you could play it even just disoriented and whatever. You still get a victory royale because it's not even effort anymore.
Yeah.
I just keep on winning and I'm finding it stale because I'm just too good.
Oh, jeez.
Me being humble.
How's it feel to be in the 1%, Joe? How's it feel to be in the 1%?
I feel better than you, Kyle. Hashtag humble brag. But no, I'm kidding. Fortnite, though, yeah, I've been playing that, of course. Then I jumped off the PlayStation to do something called What's in Your Box? And I was playing Xbox for a little bit.
Okay.
Played a game called State of Decay. You thought Far Cry was buggy?
Oh yeah, from the videos I've seen.
Kyle, you have no idea. And it's published by Microsoft. You would it's off jokes aside, buggy as hell in co-op. Okay. Better in single player. My game crashed multiple times. People are like, it's a $30 game. Yeah, but Hellblade's $30. It's a lot more quality. Never crashed on me once. Good or bad aside, never crashed on me once. State of Decay, though, I have to say this. If it was, it is everything Sea of Thieves isn't. It's like a reverse Sea of Thieves. There's a lot to do, and the gameplay is really fun. There's just no polish. It's just real bad textures everywhere. It's real bad glitches everywhere. It's just like it. I feel like once Detroit comes out, once Dank Souls remaster, praise be to Shu, comes out, I'm not playing this game anymore. As much as I do enjoy it, I have to say though, the reason why I'm enjoying it so much is because I'm playing with Sean Capri over there at the Xbox Drive. We settled our differences. They waved the white flag of surrender because they're Canadians. Look at this little Mountie pen, and so well, Sean's anyway. Nonetheless, we were playing with Sean, and there's this one thing you can do if someone gets bitten. First, I'll State of Decay zombie game. Do a real bad job describing this game. It's a zombie game, and if you're out with one of your partners, you get bit, they get bit. You can choose to give them the cure. There's a cure in this game, which makes you wonder why didn't they just figure out the zombie problem a long time ago? But anyway, or you get to euthanize them, which is a shot to the head. Yeah, and literally they'll be like, "I'm so sorry," and they're cocking the gun, and he's just like, "No, it's okay. I thought it would end this way," and then you just pop them right in the face.
Holy shit!
Yeah, and the funniest thing, I think this will haunt Sean Capri to the day he dies. Is he comes into my game right as I'm loading up a gun, and he's just like, "What's going on?" He's like, "I'm so sorry." He just sees me shoot one of my own citizens in the face, and he's just like,
"Oh,
what's going on?" I'm like, "Oh, sorry, terribly awkward time."
Oh man!
Yeah. And then this guy Ramiro was starting trouble in our neighborhood, and we had to sort him out too. So, what I say is, if this is a zombie apocalypse, you don't want me in charge because I'm
just gonna be popping fools.
Yeah, shoot first, ask questions later. This is
Joe. We have a cure. Nope.
Nope.
Cock
so
the gun.
sorry.
Nope.
But I have it right in front of my And, so
I'm old school.
Playing.
We don't need a cure. We just got to get rid of it.
We just got to solve bad behavior, and we got to get it. So that's what we've been playing this week. There's a huge bit of news that dropped this week, and if it wasn't for this piece of news, this week would be a whole big empty week of nothing.
Yeah.
So with that, let me get this title out here where it's from. This comes from both Polygon and Game Informer. So in an earnings call with investors, Sony, about a week ago, let's even go further back. When they announced their date and their time and what their E3 press conference is going to be like, we talked about how it was weird because why would you say the first opening thing is no new hardware? Just seems like a weird thing to say. We're not expecting hardware, right?
Yeah.
This week during an investors call, it seems like it is the beginning of the end for the PlayStation 4. As they say that the PlayStation 4 is in its ends of its life cycle. So this comes from Polygon. And the one major thing that they said is that revenue sales, though they are continuously, they're doing fine. Right? I think they said their forecast of selling hardware has dropped with year by year. Last year, they actually didn't hit estimates by over 1 million units. They said that Sony projects to sell 16 million consoles during the current fiscal year, which is down 19 million of the previous year. Also, the CEO Kodera said today that although PSVR is growing, the virtual reality market hasn't fulfilled in the industry's expectations. So this is a bit of somber news because the PlayStation 4 is doing great still.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then we get this piece of news saying, it looks like we're ending its life cycle. So people are saying, is it going to be coming out, maybe the PlayStation 5 coming out next year? And then Sony, and this comes from Game Informer, states that they're going to focus on PSN and PlayStation 4 games until 2021. And they're still vague about what supporting the PlayStation 4 means at 2021. So, Kyle?
Yeah.
First bit of news. What do you think about it?
Well, yeah, going off Yeah, not super surprised. Again, when you brought it up, what we heard, was it last week or 2 weeks ago,
Yeah,
where
last week, yeah.
no new hardware at E3. That kind of made us think that they already have their mind set on coming up with whatever is next, whatever they call it. Hopefully, it is PlayStation 5, because it'd be stupid if they do a different name. But that's a different topic for a different time.
PlayStation 1? Who would do that?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, man. Fools.
But I think what they said makes sense.
Yeah.
We're how many years? 4 years in?
5 years, actually.
5 years in. So we're 5 years into PlayStation 4. Them saying that they will still support the PSN and PS4 is very much what they did on PS2 and PS3 after it died. They still had games come out on both platforms once the new console came out. I'm not saying that we'll get the PS5 next year, but we'll definitely hear about it next year, and I could see it coming out 2020.
Yeah? You still think it's 2020? It's not 2019?
I do still think it's 2020.
Do you think they're going to announce it at 2019, like, hey, get prepared for what's coming up?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a whole lot like what Microsoft did with Scorpio.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're building this thing. It's going to be awesome. We're going to tease you for a little bit, and you'll see it at another reveal event like they did with the PS4.
Okay. Now, the next thing I want to hit you with is this, and it does concern me as a VR owner, is saying that PlayStation VR is growing, but the virtual reality market's growth hasn't fulfilled the industry's expectations. What does that say? Is that a red flag? It is to me.
It's definitely worrying, because I bought my VR expecting to get these type of great experiences, and I think it's kind of on them for dropping the ball with it a little bit, because I wouldn't say they sold it on saying we're going to have these amazing, huge experiences on VR, PSVR. But the only things I feel like we're getting are small things here and there.
Yeah.
Like updates to have old games work in VR, like Wipeout. Or I think the only real major game we saw with VR was Resident Evil, for sure. And the Inpatient didn't do great, which is upsetting, because I love Supermassive, right? Is the developer. And we both played Bravo Team. That was a mess. That was another one we were super excited about.
Started, yeah.
Farpoints didn't sell that well, at least from what I hear, and it just feels like all the games that they're trying to push out for VR have not met us as gamers' expectations, and that's kind of a little sad.
Yeah, I think what they said is something. It is worrisome. It is a red flag to me. PlayStation VR is one of the only headsets that is doing good, from what I've heard. Now, I'm completely out of it. I heard Oculus has the Oculus Go. That's great. Vive just came out with their even more expensive headset, the Pro, I think it's called. And I'm not here to say that I'm a VR expert by no means.
Mm-hmm.
But when the VR came out, PlayStation and Andy House, rip Andy, he and rip Bobby. Oh man, those Bears got to him. We don't know what happened. So, they even stated like, "Hey, this is a project. This is something that we're optimistic in, and stockholders are saying it's great. Here it is." But and I like the way that they handled it, because it was just like they could walk away from this if it failed, going, "Hey, we tried," or they could walk away going, "Wow, who knew this would be as big as it is?" And I think it is sadly not the latter. I think VR market is not ready, and it will. VR is something that I don't think will ever be ready for a very, very, very long time. Every 10 years we get this VR experience, and it never lives up. We got it in the 90s, we had a little bit in the mid 2000s. Now we have it here, and every time sometimes there's pieces of technology that stockholders say is going to be really great, but not people are going to say is really great, right? We saw it with 3D TVs, and I think that's exactly what VR is. It's a really niche market, and when I hear developers talk about it, they're also not thrilled with it. Like, they want the support, and they need people to buy these games, because what I hear from a lot of indie developers in interviews and conversation is there's no point of putting it on VR. No one's buying them. Not enough, at least, to support a sequel or to support us. So we're seeing a lot of indie games also have these non-VR, type of experiences, or they're trying to, exclusivity deal is cute and all, but they need to get them on all the platforms, because they need that just to keep them solvent. So I don't know if the support is there, and that, though, again, you guys, VR guys and gals, very passionate, there needs to be a bigger push. And so I do think it is a bit of a failure on PlayStation, but they also said going in, we don't know what this is.
Yeah.
And seeing it at, still we only know the numbers 2 million mark, and this is year, what, 2?
3? 2, 3? Yeah.
This is year 2 of the PlayStation VR. That's not good. And I don't think any of these VR headsets are good. And I think the only ones that are going to make it are the Oculus at this point, because it just has the staying power of Facebook.
Yeah.
Right? These super multi-billion-dollar projects that they can funnel as much money until they get something. So that's what I think. It is worrisome to me.
Yeah, and I think on like the less gaming side of it, as a practical thing to have in your house, it takes up a lot of space.
Yeah.
The wires are crazy, and that's not even just for PSVR. Like, I think it's the Vive where you have to set up the motions, the sensors around the room.
I don't think you have to. It's just more for a more accurate feel. Which once I saw that, I was just like, this is not succeeding. No one's doing this.
Exactly. I think that also has to do with why it's not doing great, because it does. I have my VR over here to my left, and the wires are just sitting here on the floor. And when my nieces come around, they trip over it all the time because it's hard to hide them.
Yeah, I'm actually about to put my VR back in the box, and it's been 3 months.
Yeah, it's just another practical thing, because people don't like clutter, and it's a definite huge source of clutter. Man, I'm that great with words tonight.
Hey, same here, man. I just came as we're recording from Planet Nintendo podcast, Nintendo predictions, and man, you should go see that. It's a wild ride of me saying ridiculous stuff and adding Kratos to Smash Brothers, because it's gonna happen. So you
can't give them Kratos, yo.
Oh, don't worry. There is. Trust me, Kyle, you want to watch it.
Okay.
Because you're going to love it.
All right, good.
It's going to be amazing. Go over there. Support Pat. He's a great guy. Now, if I was you, and we're bringing it back this episode.
You got it.
Would we have announced the end of the PlayStation 4 this soon? Would we have announced, even if it's just a stock call, would we have said this coming into E3? Or would we have held it off for a little while longer?
I think in a way, it makes some sense. It gets people talking about Sony and E3. Because if they say the PS4, this is for like the people who aren't fully into the gaming world and the gaming news. Sure. If people hear, oh, the PS4 is almost done and E3's coming around, oh, maybe they're going to show off the next thing. It gets people talking and get more eyes on the conference. Okay. For us who are in the know, like I'm some super important journalist, but
you're part of the trophy room, a PlayStation podcast made by players for the
That's true. Thank you.
On iTunes.
Thank you for reminding me. I don't think it makes much sense for us, because we kind of knew. Well, we kind of know because consoles have like a 6-year life cycle, and we were getting close to it anyway.
Right.
So. I mean, it probably was better left unsaid, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's actually a big mistake. Yeah. I think this is nowhere near the levels of, like, we're putting a Kinect in every Xbox One. This is not as big as that, but what I do think this is anybody who is an outsider looking in now looks at this console who maybe does not own a PlayStation 4 yet, going, why? Even if Spider-Man is great, but if I'm an adult, right, and I'm like, yeah, Spider-Man looks great, but am I gonna drop $200+ plus Spider-Man if a new thing's gonna come out? I don't know. And to me, going into to this E3, the wind isn't at Sony's back like it once was. At least with this E3, everybody's talking about Nintendo, what they're going to show off, and Xbox, right? Because Xbox is so down and out right now. You know, I've been writing this script for a very long time. I'm more excited about Xbox and what they have to offer than PlayStation because they need that. Like they're so down right now that anything is a win for them.
I completely agree.
I mean, when it comes to the games front, you know, Phil Spencer has been very candid by saying, hey, you know, we've just got an influx of money. We're going to be buying things. You're going to hear from us shortly. We haven't heard anything. So I'm like, they're saving this. You know,
and when it comes to PlayStation, they've shot all their shots.
Yeah.
Every first party studio is accounted for, and we know what they've worked on recently or working on now. Yeah. So there's very little room left for for surprises from first party front. So they're going to have to rely on third party for a little bit, and we're back in that lull, the bottom of the hype train.
And I think when we're at the bottom of that hype train, I think it's easy to think for a second that hey, this is worrying because any Xbox IP that comes out is going to get traction, right? They're going to be filling in the gaps you're leaving. But at the same exact time, flip of the coin, you also think the games that are announced, those 4 games, right? Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2, Death Stranding, Days Gone, which we will talk a little bit about again.
Yeah.
Those games are coming out 2019. I think that tells you that, hey, these games are 2019 games. These games are 2020 tops games. These games are coming. And so I think, they're going to be filling out with third party. I'm not thrilled about this news. And I think maybe I'll throw it back to you is because we look at last generation and it was like close to 10 years, right? It was like an 8 year.
Yeah, it was a long time.
It was a long time. And so to me, I'm like, I can still get some juice out of this thing. Right? Like I could still play a really good looking game. Like games still are looking better than ever. So like, to me,
I mean, hell, PS3 had Last of Us close to its end.
Yeah,
and that's like a top tier level game on any system.
God, it's beautiful. So to me, walking out of this generation, I'm actually like, I actually could use another year before you tell me anything. I'm really thinking 2020 is that sweet spot, but I don't know. Maybe they know something I don't. They're looking at the numbers and they're saying that more people are owning 4K TVs. But to me, and even as a pro owner, this does get me a little discouraged of saying what's at 2019. Is that coming? I don't know. And even with the news of like, oh, don't worry, we're still supporting it to 2021 just sounds like damage control to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this is a big mistake.
Also, that's a little worrying if they're saying they're going to support PSN until 2021.
Right. What's
going to happen after that? Is PSN just going to disappear? Does the new system not have PSN?
And that is something we haven't taken into consideration. They say that for the lack of systems sold, what's going to happen is they're thinking what's going to help them is the sales of PSN. That's the thing. The subscriptions they have will hold ground and will substitute for all the lack of PlayStation 4s being sold. So to me, it just shows that I don't think it's not going to carry over. Because Xbox Live, right? And they set the precedent of you even paying for online in the first place. So I don't think it's going anywhere. We see the number of 35 million PlayStation Plus members. That's a little low. Do you think that's an accurate number? Or?
That's incredibly low for the amount of people who play online shooters and Fortnite, and like that seems real low.
Yeah, because I remember the height of last generation. I think Xbox Live had anywhere from over like 40 million players. You know, so to me, I'm like, that's a little bit low. Now we don't know Xbox's numbers to compare, but like even if that's the case, like it's a little low to me. But I don't know. Final thought, and I know I'm being a bummer. This episode's a bummer, man. It's just
Well, a lot of not super uplifting news this
Yeah.
week.
Jesus. I'm sorry, gang. I'm real sorry. I'm sorry, Tim Wolf. You're driving your kid. He's getting depressed in the back seat. He's like, Papa, let me hear some good news. I'm so sorry. But yeah, that's it. The end of the PlayStation 4 is near, but I think at the end of the day, the conversation of, man, I want more out of this console is actually really awesome because it shows how, dude, I love my PlayStation 4. I love it so much.
Absolutely.
You know, like, we don't want it to go says a lot about this console. And also, I should also state that that doesn't mean just because if a new console is coming out 2020, that does not mean we can't get sequels to things. Cough, cough,
Yeah.
Horizon 2. It could happen. And I
Yeah.
know I'm getting people's hopes up, but it easily can't happen because games that have come out, like, again, this is definitely not happening, but like God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, these are games that they built an engine for, they have assets for, so they could turn over these games a whole lot faster than they once were. Like, a lot of people are very hesitant that they'll see Death Stranding, and I'm like, it's gonna be here. You're gonna see
Yeah.
gameplay finally, because a lot of people don't realize Death Stranding, they didn't make an engine. They actually are working with the Horizon Zero Dawn engine. So
Yeah.
they already have something. This game's churning out faster than people give it credit for. So with that, that's the end of the PlayStation 4. I want to know what you guys think of the PlayStation 4 this generation so far. You can let us know on our Twitter at PS Trophy Room. Tweet at us there, follow us there for all the updates. And I do want to update one thing before we go forward. That is, we have, it's still happening, a Detroit Become Human giveaway. And I forgot over the past few weeks because it is school finals. I forgot to advertise it. So I'm going to let this contest go one more week. And that is, if you want to win, wait for it, not just Detroit Becoming Human, but if you go, I'm not interested in that game, I'm much more looking forward to Dank Souls or whatever have you, you get to win a copy of a PlayStation 4 game. The reason why I'm saying that is we found out the release date or the embargo date for Detroit Become Human. And as of this podcast, there are still no reviews out for this game. The embargo is actually up a day before the game comes out.
Yeah.
Does that concern you, Kyle?
No, it doesn't concern me at all.
Usually that means something bad's happening.
Usually it means like a game is they know it's not great, so they want to kind of keep it as close to the best as possible. I think having the review go the embargo lift the day before its release has more to do with maybe story spoilers getting out with a story heavy game like Detroit. At least that's what I'm hoping for. But I am not worried. Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
I'll be there Thursday night to pick my copy up. So.
Oh dang! Wait, are they doing? Do you know if like GameStop or whoever is doing?
At my local GameStop, they've been handing out the games at 8:00 the night before, or at closing the night before. So I will definitely be there.
Oh,
they already told me that. So
I'm gonna check that out too, because I'll be honest with you, that news did concern me. Like going, oh god, a day before. Like for me, I'm kind of thinking, well, maybe I'll hold off and I'll buy Dank Souls. So for me, it's more of a conversation of like, oh, I need to see these reviews because I'm already not really 100% sold on this game.
yeah,
Actually, before we leave and go to our next topic, we do have a segment throughout this show. I want to sprinkle it in here because you can message into this show. All right. And we've called it Viewer Mail. I want to call it something else. And this segment's going to be called hashtag Praise Be to Shu and Praise Be to You. And with that, Antonio Guillen, Mr. Hypecaster at Twitter, has said this. PS Trophy Room, I have a question. Let's just say, PlayStation focuses on the big four games and don't reveal too much else. Is it possible for PlayStation to, quote unquote, win E3? I always felt you have to blow people away to win. Does knowing what's coming hurt? And then he puts in quotes, must suppose the possible win scenario for PlayStation 3. So knowing what games are coming out, knowing that a PlayStation Next is coming out, do you think all this news and them saying what you can expect hurts PlayStation's chances this E3?
Of winning E3?
Yeah, of winning it.
I mean, I said on the show the last couple of weeks, knowing what they were showing at E3 kind of dampened my hype on it.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I love to be surprised. I'm totally with Mr. Hypecaster. I want to be surprised about what they show. Knowing that they're going to show those 4 games, it's going to be harder for them to win E3. But I still think they have a shot. Because if they show off those games, and the gameplay is... Because I'm expecting gameplay from all 4.
Right.
If the gameplay is awesome and something new, especially that Death Stranding game, whatever it turns out to be, if they show stuff that really connects and we're all on board, they can totally still win E3. And I also think that they might have some surprises as far as third-party announcements. So even though technically they're not Sony owned, the conference could still win E3.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. There's more things about Days Gone. So,
yeah.
I want to carry this on because I think, for Antonio, to put it short, I think as long as you show gameplay and that gameplay blows people away, I think you win E3. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you, knowing it does dampen it because, I am more excited for Xbox. I am more excited for Nintendo. This is coming from a Sony guy. And because I don't know what Xbox has to offer, so they can wow me. I don't know what Smash or Pokemon or anything like that that Nintendo holds, so there's mystery to that. Taking away the mystery does dampen it, but I do think that they said third-party surprises.
Yeah.
When third-party comes to mind, there are studios, there are developers who are third-party that develop exclusives. We're going to see Shadows Die twice. And hashtag Game of the Generation Bloodborne 2. I'm going to see them. I guarantee it.
Put it in the books.
Praise be to you, and also praise be to you, Antonio. Seriously.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me workshop a catchphrase here. Sync it up. Sync that news up. Like you sync the trophies. Instead of locking it.
I'll take it.
I'll work on it.
I'm the pun master, so I just, I can't. He also has another question. Okay, I got one more question. If you had to change your PSN name and what would you change it to? Also, and I'm gonna just save that one for later. Also, because I don't want anybody to steal it. If you were in charge to pick Sean Capri's new PlayStation name, what would it be? Hashtag Sean Capri, hashtag the Xbox Drive. Funny, I know why Sean does not like PlayStation now. Do you want to know what Sean Capri, the host, one of the hosts of the Xbox Drive's name is on PlayStation?
I can't recall it off the top of my head, but I listened to his E3 prediction show, and he said it there, and I was laughing really hard in the car.
It's awesome schlong.
Yes, it is.
This man has one child on the way. He's going to be a father or two, and awesome schlong. Everybody add awesome schlong.
Send him those friend requests.
And then message him, say, the trophy room sent me. Please, for the love of all that is holy. Tip my hat to you, awesome. Kyle, I got concerned again about Days Gone. This isn't in the notes, but a lot of people are saying it's more Last of Us Jr.
Okay.
That concerns me, Kyle. I just want
I'm not concerned.
Still not concerned? You're still on this train?
I'm still hyped for it.
Okay.
It's aesthetically, it definitely does look like Last of Us. And I've watched a couple of previews of it people who played it at Judges Week. And again, the game is still in alpha.
Right.
So the bugs and stuff I'm pretty sure will be fixed, at least I hope so. But I'm still excited. Nothing is going to really dampen it unless they come out and say, like, if you buy this game, kids will die, like in real life.
Oh, no.
Like,
I've got enough of that, Kyle. Please, no.
That was bad. I'm still super excited about it. I get people's fears and how it does seem a little too samey with another major franchise in PlayStation's arsenal.
Yeah.
But I think it'll still be different enough.
Okay. I'm hoping it is. I actually do think that Days Gone might be the one chink in the armor that is the Sony exclusives at this point. I think they need to do their best of escaping the narrative of Last of Us Jr.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing. When I'm hearing Last of Us Jr., I'm not afraid that the game's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Because that tells me the game's going to be great if it's anything like The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
But it just hurts that game's perception that people think you're a Last of Us clone. So for me, I just need to see, I think a lot of people need to see more of this game before they judge.
Yeah.
And I don't think the first hour might be doing it justice.
For sure.
So, or what they have right now, what they've shown.
Yeah, and I definitely, from everything I've seen or read, they're definitely, Sony Bend is definitely ambitious with Days Gone. Yeah. Everything they're trying to throw in there, and the stuff I've seen, like, somebody's gameplay from Judges this week had, I'm not sure the main character's name, but he was shooting a freaker, and if he shot the freaker in the shoulder, like, that shoulder went back. Like, the hit detection was really well done in the alpha build. Like, he shot one of the freaker's foot out, and his leg went flying behind him. Like, the way you shot enemies actually affected the way they move, which is good. They're not just like sponges.
Yeah,
which is a nice feel.
Yeah, I'm still optimistic. So that's our Days Gone update. I'm just hearing Last of Us Jr. gives me a little. But with that said, we get to our next story. Still bad news, guys. I wish this was a good week. What are we? Are we doing an Xbox podcast? What are we doing? All this bad news out here, right? Oh man. Rest in peace, Best Buy Gamer Club. And I want to ask this one question after I state what's going on here. Sorry, my brain's all confuzzled. Best Buy, if you have the Gamer Membership Club card, whatever the hell it's named, the Gamers Club unlocked. What that system would do, it's a membership for $29.99 for 2 years. And what that card would do is give you 10% off of all new or used games. So theoretically, instead of paying $60 per game, you're paying $47.95 for that game in American real money. Now, this membership wasn't available anywhere. You can't get it in Canada because they don't have freedom. And in America, what started happening a few days ago was you couldn't buy the membership online. It wasn't working. And then there was an email that stated, and it was leaked, that after people's membership ran out, that they're not going to honor or renew those memberships. So effectively, what has happened is that they're canceling this membership card. And that really sucks for physical media because, that's been an argument for a very long time here on the Trophy Room at Bad Bit Games is that, hey, the benefit is if you buy one of these membership cards, like you pre-order from Amazon or you do this game club card from Best Buy, is, hey, physical games are cheaper. Now they're not. I want to sensationalize this a little bit.
Yeah.
Is this worrisome for physical media? Is this another nail in the physical game's coffin, do you think?
Yeah. Yes, it is. It was. I don't use. I've never used the Best Buy reward system. I'm a GameStop guy still, so I use their stuff. But hearing that news that they're getting rid of it and knowing how many people use it to buy their games physically, and then just seeing it very quickly online of people saying, "Well, go in digital." No need to go to the store to pick up physical games anymore. My heart sank because I'm not saying it's like flick of the switch. Like, we're not saying they flip the switch and then everything's going to go digital. Yeah. But it definitely speeds the process up a whole lot. And it scares me because I'm not in the perfect spot where I can download games quickly. It'll still take days for them to be put on my system. So I'm definitely worried. It's very sad.
All right. Well, I'm sorry, Kyle. I'm sorry you feel that way. I too feel like this is sad news. As a person that loves physical media, I actually use that Game Club card a lot. It sucks because it is another nail on the coffin. It just shows you digital doesn't need to drop their price as much as you want them to. It's fine. They've just taken out the middleman. They're making more money. And so they don't need to because of the convenience factor. So seeing that this gamer card didn't do the what Best Buy was hoping for. It depresses me a little bit, but I can't say I'm not surprised because about a month ago, I saw, you walk into a Best Buy, the game section was a lot bigger and neater. And then I walked in like a few weeks ago and I was just like, where's all the games? Like, this is not a lot here. This is, Like I felt worried right off the bat. So seeing the game club fail is disheartening because, it's not doom and gloom. It's not like next week everybody's switching to digital because GameStop is still, I think, like 60% of all physical games are bought out of GameStop. So you could attribute it to many factors, like stiff established competition, like GameStop, and outside sources like digital. But I'm going to be honest with you, Kyle. I don't see myself much longer being a physical guy. I'm actually starting to see the benefits of digital, and it's just that convenience. The only inconvenient thing is that I can't trade these games in. But when I traded in a few games to get some to pay off a pre-order, I bought these games like 2 months ago, and I traded in 3 games to get one. And I was like, this is no value at this point.
Yeah,
to me. But like, like if I have to trade in 3 games to get one for free, I'd rather keep those games at this point. So to me, I actually feel like what's going to happen is digital is, I think, right now, my next check is I'm going to be buying a hard drive for my PlayStation 4. It's about time because, there are times like my Xbox One is all digital. For the most part, it's all digital. And being able to switch to The Witcher and being able to switch from Rainbow Six, I don't even got to get up. It's amazing. I'm like, whoa, technology, isn't that crazy? So, I think for me, I'm slowly switching to digital. The only exceptions are for games I truly love, like games that are going to stay in that PlayStation 4. So, like Dank Souls, for sure. Hell yes. Spooderman, duh, definitely. There's a PlayStation 5 going to be announced next year. I'll still buy that PlayStation 4 edition. Are you kidding me? There's no way I'm not. So, for me, I think this is the wake up call that I'm gonna be switching over to digital because it's just convenient. And it sucks because we have so many friends that have mom and grop shops, and I'm worried for them. But I think we even see stores focus on retro games and actually focus on outside sources of income like Magic tournaments are really big there as well. So I think even mom and pop shops are evolving as well to shift into this ecosystem, this climate where digital is the future. We even see it in GameStop. There's like a whole section of Pokemon cards. I'm like, what is this?
Not even that. They have whole sections where it's like the updated version of Toys R Us where you go get a slip of paper and it's a digital code for a digital game. Dude,
I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
When a Fortnite Battle Pass came out, I know you haven't heard of this game in the last 5 minutes, but people were, my one friend works at GameStop, he's like, I could not stop getting calls for the digital code of this fucking game. Like, I'm so done.
Yeah.
Like, it is the future where, like, you don't have the greatest internet, or you don't want to give PlayStation your credit card, and trust me, I do not blame you.
Smart choice. Yeah,
smart choice, smarter than me. Like, I get it. So, even with Andy House, like, I don't think you have much to worry about, Kyle, because even he said discs are going to stay here for a long time because, our internet sucks,
Yeah.
Hashtag, what's that net neutrality thing, right? Go support that. Call a congressman. It actually works. So with that, we got one question from Dude 427. What's up, dude? He's my pal at Fortnite, and he asked this: do you think someone else's should copy the Best Buy Gamer Club, or do something to improve it? So, Kyle, and again, praise be to Shu and praise be to you, Dude 427. What do you think's going to happen here? Do you think someone else should adopt this? Do you think GameStop should? What do you think's going to happen?
I think it'd be smart if they took that from them.
Yeah.
I mean, they already have a pretty solid, or at least in my eyes, a pretty solid membership deal, you do end up saving a lot of money with it already, and it's mostly on pre-owned stuff. But if they were to throw a discount on new games, I think it would fill the void from that Best Buy is now leaving.
Yeah.
And more people will be going into GameStop again.
I think that it would be a very smart idea for GameStop to do.
Yeah.
I think they need it more than they think they do. I remember they had a reaction to that, which is like select games you get 10% off of 1 year. As much as I want it to happen, I think when GameStop does do it, it's going to be too late. Like even seeing Amazon actually step back and say, actually not any game. You have to pre-order it within a 2-week window, and some exclusions apply. So, like, no Call of Duty or Battlefield, because everybody's going to pre-order those games anyway. And seeing Amazon even step away from it, tells you that, no, if anybody should copy it, I really do think digital games still should. Because I think that's going to speed up what is a prolonged, inevitable scenario. But, again, you see, they don't even have to either, because it's the convenient factor. It really is. So with that's where I lay. I think at the end of the day too, like like as much as I hate to say it, digital is the future. Like the only reason why I bought Black Panther, which everybody should, help Hollywood wrong. It's an amazing movie.
It really is.
Killmonger's a great villain. I don't care what King says. It's great. Anyway. Nonetheless, I went in to buy that movie, and I was like, I'm buying it because it's true 4K. I'm not streaming it. It's not getting diluted. I have this 4K TV I'm using. First off, fucking gorgeous. But it's $34.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, you think you would understand and, like, not... Like, hey, digital is the future. I might want to, make this $25, and instead you're like, nope, actually a liver. Give me one. Not smart guys. Not smart. So I don't think sadly, dude, I don't think anybody has to do it. And that
I know.
It bums me out.
And just the steelbooks we'll be missing out on, Joe. The steelbooks.
That's the thing. I mean, me and Grouchy Surge, we find solace, in our digital. We tweet at each other like, hey, this is a steelbook I got. Look at this steelbook.
Yep.
Again, I think I will be staying physical for those things. I love a good steelbook. I'm a slut for steelbooks. # slutty steelbook. It makes sense, right? It's a good tagline. Hey, are you sick of battle royale games? Great. Our next Call of Duty. We talked about this a few weeks ago. Finally,
man, it really is a bummer of an episode, Joe.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's not your fault. It's just the gaming gods this week are just like, hey, let's give some bad news and let's just make Call of Duty something that it's not,
So let's talk about Call of Duty, man.
Yeah.
Call of Duty in 2018. They're introducing a mode. First off, single player is no longer. That is the rumor that actually came to fruition. There is no single player campaign, but they are adding in a mode called Blackout. First off, way to copy my PSN name.
I was going to say, I forgot to bring that up.
Real piece of shit move, Activision.
Do you get royalties? Like, do we need to tweet at Treyarch?
I'm going to tweet at Treyarch, go, where's my royalties and or a copy of this probably mediocre game.
Yeah.
Okay, Kyle. We know Battle Royale. We know no single player. Thoughts? That's it. That's all I'm going to say.
Thoughts? Okay, yeah. It's, man, and I can see where they're trying to make up for it, the no single player.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we have 3 zombie maps.
Whoa.
Whoa, I know, right? Crazy.
That's like,
we have vehicles. Oh, how does that even work in a Call of Duty game?
For a reveal, here's the crazy thing. So, like, that question, oddly enough, I would be like, hey, we haven't seen anything. Give them a chance. Yeah. But this is your reveal event. We saw nothing about this mode other than it's going to happen. It's going to change Battle Royale. Like, how is adding aircraft a smart idea in a Battle Royale game?
Not only that, in Call of Duty, if you get a kill streak and you have one of those airships, you're impossible to take down unless you're real good and you know all the hiding spots.
Yeah,
It's like how are you going to balance it out? Is what I'm thinking.
You can't have kill streaks in that game. Like
No.
to me, this just sounds awful because what makes Fortnite so great? It's skill based. You know that guy sniped you from 300 yards away. Holy shit, that's awesome.
Yep.
If someone gets a kill streak and you just die because someone got an Apache helicopter, what the like? And knowing how OP those games are, me going back to Modern Warfare days, back when it was good. Hashtag make Call of Duty great again. This is it's just OP. So now you're dying not because the guy got you good. It wasn't fair. It was just this AI killed me out of nowhere.
And I'm not sure if their battle royale mode, the blackout mode. Do you play as like the special classes in Call of Duty in that mode?
Here's the thing.
Like, do you have to pick one of the operators for lack of a better term?
There's so little information we know about that mode.
Yeah.
No. And that's the other thing. The multiplayer that you know and love, there is no wall running, there's no jetpacks.
Yep.
But it's class based.
Yeah.
So the rumor of class based like Overwatch is also true.
And from what I've seen, it's 6-on-6.
Yeah.
And I think they only showed off about 8 specialists, eight people. Yep. So you're going to be seeing a lot of the same type of powers going against each other. There's not a whole lot of variety there.
Yeah. It's not like Overwatch where you had 20 something at launch. Right?
I mean,
maybe there's going to be more. It's only May.
It's very true. They could be holding back and they have a ton of people on hold.
My question is though, and maybe I'm not. You know what? I'm tired of being negative. Okay. It's so tired.
I'm with you.
I'm so tired of being Dave Moore. I'm so tired of just video games. I don't even play them. Like, I'm just so done. I'm tired. I'm excited for this game, Kyle. Okay. Why should I care? Why should I care about single player? Because there was a statistic that said, what was it? 67% of people, they just pulled out stats. Because Activision pulled out stats of, games with campaigns people beat. And, I think the overwhelming, 90% of, Call of Duty players didn't even beat the last Call of Duty. 67% of people who bought Destiny, the first one, didn't even beat the first level. So are we blowing this idea that single player means so much that I'll be honest with you, Kyle? Be real with you? I can't remember what Call of Duty World War II was about. I know it was about Nazis. Yeah. But they was wrong on both sides. But
I think it has. I think it has less to, because you're right. What Call of Duty does best. What Call of Duty does best is multiplayer. Yeah. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's what they do best. The fact that there's no single player though, where is that extra value going? The other extra zombie maps? I think that's what I'm kind of...
zombie maps and a battle royale mode.
Yay! Because you said we're trying to be positive.
Yeah.
But in my head, it's just where is all that time going into? Where am I getting my $60 worth? If it's just going to be a multiplayer only mode type of thing.
Okay, staying positive. You see how I'm grasping at straws here? Overwatch multiplayer only. People love that game. $60. Of course, right now it's on sale for $30, but $60 game, multiplayer only.
That's true. Will this game have events like Overwatch to get people going?
I don't know.
New skins, the rush of skins,
new maps for free? No.
Yeah. So
you could just assume that's a big old negative.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Where, like we said before, they're probably holding a lot back as far as the people you play as and the classes and stuff. So maybe at E3 they're gonna surprise us with some cool things. But yeah, a lot of people are happy because a lot of people play Call of Duty. I'm trying to be positive, Joe. Yeah, a lot of people are super happy about it.
I'm so tired about it. You know what? A lot of people are.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, look, this announcement wasn't that great.
Yeah.
I think as an old fan of Call of Duty, it's kind of like this franchise has been stagnant for me in a really long time, and it's just weird seeing this like blackout map. Right, first off, hashtag that was mine first. I called it. Is seeing it go. We have vehicles. The map's like 10 times larger. The thing that does excite me is it was what I said, and again, Activision, thanks for stealing my idea a few episodes back of it's cool if this was like all the best maps combined into one. Apparently, that's what this mode's gonna be.
Okay.
It's all the best like portions of the maps you loved in this map. So that's exciting. But then at the same time going, okay, you're throwing all these maps together. First off, you're just reusing assets. So that's not taking the. Let's like. I'm not here. I'm not being an armchair dev saying your job's easy, but you're reusing assets. You're now adding vehicles into the game, which hey, it was cool in Call of Duty 3, but that's Battlefield, like big map vehicles, Battlefield. So you finally in Battlefield. I don't know anymore, Kyle. I'm done being positive. This sucks. Like
it's
it doesn't
not great.
suck on the perspective of like, look, there's no single player. Fine, they're great games. Overwatch was my game of the year.
I understand. I'm in the minority there. I'm one of the very few people, like you said, that actually care about playing single player stories in Call of Duties, and even then, it's been a couple years since I played it, so I understand.
But to me, like, I see where Activision is going because they want to save a buck while also saying, listen, who cares about the 3% of people who play single player? We're gonna alienate them. They're not gonna buy this. But if we take a risk and we go, hey, Overwatch, Overwatch, hey, Fortnite, hey, Battle Royale games in general.
Hey, Siege.
Hey, Siege.
Rainbow Six Siege. Yeah.
Come here. We have a mode for those Fortnite cucks, as they say, and we have the class-based modes you love, Overwatch, Siege, looking at you. We have it here, but then on the outset, you go, okay, well, I could play Rainbow Six Siege for pretty cheap. It's dropped down in price. It's $40. I could play Overwatch, which gives me maps, though I pay ESRP, MSRP of $60. I'm still getting all this content for free. I'm still getting free maps. I'm still getting free modes. I'm still getting regular updates on the regular for free.
Yeah.
So what is the incentive of going to your game when games like Fortnite are free? And guess what? They're fucking great.
Yeah.
What's the incentive of going to you when PUBG already has a first-person mode? It's a $29.99 game. I don't see where this works for them.
Yeah. And another, like, nitpick is, what makes this a Black Ops game? Because when I think Black Ops from Call of Duty, I think of the single-player stuff.
I'm going to stop you right here. Here's how.
Yeah.
The name. They want you attached to this name because it's Black Ops. You know Black Ops is good, right? You played the first one, you loved it. Second one was all right. Okay, listen, don't talk about 3, but here's Black Ops 4. This known quantity that is known to being the best of Call of Duty in that has to offer right now. So that's why they're using Black Ops name. It's for marketing purposes, not because it's carrying any lasting impacting on the story. You know? Kyle, here's what's going to get me excited.
Okay, I'm ready.
I brought this piece of news up. I want you to talk about this. PlayStation 4 gets an official Elite-style controller for $200. Talk to me about this controller, Kyle.
Wait, is it really $200? I missed that part.
$69.99 for wired, $200 for wireless.
Shit. Okay, I did not know that was the price tag.
Now, this controller is made by Scruff. And Kyle, I gotta be honest.
Is that a real name? Is that a real name?
Here's the thing.
I'm thinking of the crime-fighting dog that talked to me in kindergarten. That's
here's the thing. I'm trying to find Scruff control. I'm trying to find the website because I was like, okay, it's Scruff. It's Scruff controller. So I was just like, their name's Scruff. I'm gonna SCURF F.com, right? That's where my mind goes because I'm stupid. You type that into Google and you get you
Uh-oh.
get a gay dating website for scruffy dudes. So right there off the bat, you guys gotta fix your name because scruff is not working out for you guys. Outside looking in here, you guys gotta, all right, just like Corey Hicks, change that Twitter handle. You guys can do it. I have faith in you. But talk to me about this.
Oh man, it's well after now knowing it's $200, man, that's a lot.
It is.
It looks cool. I like the looks of it, and I'm excited that PlayStation is branching out and giving us different options as far as controllers go, because they did that not that long ago with the small wired one, the mini pad that looks like an NES controller, and there's another wired one that looks more of like a Mad
Ori, I believe.
Yeah, it reminds me of like the Mad Catz knockoffs from PS2 and PS3.
Ori is the new Mad Catz. It looks like.
So I'm excited they're giving us options, and I it's something that PlayStation gamers have been asking for.
Yeah.
Is a customizable Elite like controller, and they're getting it
with Scruff. Now the Elite controller is already expensive. It's $150.
Yeah.
For the base one, unless you're like me, who I love a Gears of War, right? Best franchise on Xbox. You can at me, and you could be wrong. Whatever.
That's a pretty controller.
This is a $200 controller. I don't regret it for a goddamn thing. The most. I love you. What is this? The Xbox Drive? Listen, Sean Capri told me you got to stop saying all those crazy, wacky things. It's not safe. He explicitly told me to tell you guys to get in your car, buckle up, reverse, look back, signal.
I'm going to take my headphones out for a second. Okay.
Yeah, make sure there's no cops around, and then fucking gun it, because you're on the Xbox Drive Overdrive. That's what he said. He's just like, look both ways and then fucking gun it. Go straight. Just keep on going straight till you can't go straight anymore.
Oh my god! You know what's the best part? I took my if you're listening to this and not watching, I took my headphones out while he went into that rant, and just seeing you mime the actions that I knew you were saying makes it even worse. Oh god!
So this controller, here's what it does.
Yes.
It's actually really in depth. So
it gives you lots of options.
It's a modular controller. So effectively what you can do is you can enhance the triggers like you can on an Elite controller. There's switches on the back. Mm-hmm. So you can make it so that your trigger only goes halfway through, like I'm showing you on this video right here, or it goes all the way down like a natural controller would, which is pretty cool. It actually helps if you're hashtag esports player like me. It makes you a little bit more precise. You can also customize the controller in the Xbox app. I don't know if you could do it here, but this is a modular controller as well. You could take the analog sticks out, put dome-shaped ones or concave, whichever your style is. You can make it so that you have longer analog sticks so that you can... It doesn't take as long for your thumb to get to wherever you want to go to push the analog stick. So you're actually moving your thumb a little less. You can take the D-pad out, which is pretty rad, and you could put in the disc thing if that's your prerogative.
Yep.
There's switches.
You can take the rumble out.
Yeah,
which is
I'll
odd.
get there in a second.
Yeah,
there's paddles in the back that you could take out as well or add on, and you can make them whatever buttons you want. So if you want to be your trigger buttons are actually these paddles, you could just press them at the back of your fingers, or you can make them your X, your cross, your square, triangle buttons as well in the back, which helps you in various games. So like if you're playing Fortnite, you can build faster because your hands aren't going to the circle button, right? So the fraction of a second, those little seconds that you don't think of actually are more do and die than you think. Also, on the bottom, there's a volume control touchpad, which is pretty rad as well. There's side buttons, which that's really weird, I guess.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you, like, when would those work? Like right there. So if you're holding the controller, the R1, L1, there's a small button to the side of it, like on the side of the controller that you can use.
I honestly think that would have been a better idea. I'm guessing. Let me hold my, because they're on the side, so like where your X would be or your triangle would be,
Yeah.
kind of where like the R1 and the X intersect.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking while you're gaming, you could actually you could press it with your index or your finger.
Oh.
Yes. So you can actually, that works. Wow, a lot of visual gags here. That's gonna be real helpful. With that said, though, it's also styled like an Elite controller.
Mm-hmm.
So if you aren't fond of where the analogs are placed and you want, the analog on top because you're a heathen, you can have that if you want as well. So the base price silver controller is $169.95 to pre-order it. So it is about like $20 more expensive than an Elite controller.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for a wired controller. If you want a wireless controller, which I gotta also state here for the record, some people do want wired if they are esports because of the whole wireless thing. They want nothing of it. It's quicker for them. Anyway, with that said, $200 for the wireless. The last bit of news, which I totally forgot, you could take the rumble out. And you can actually make it weighted if you want. So the one thing I like about the Elite controllers, it's got a lot of heft, but if you don't care for rumble and you want your controller to be as light as possible, you can actually take things apart, which is really cool. With that said, tagline, Sean Capri, eat it. Kyle, are you excited for this thing, or are you gonna hop on it?
Not for $200.
Okay.
That's a stretch for me when it comes to a controller.
Chicken?
Whoa, where'd the hostility come from?
Listen, I don't know, man. I'm just going with the flow now.
Yeah, no, it's a want item, not a need item when it comes for me gaming wise. And if I somehow fall into that much money, I will totally buy one. But that's almost a new console. Like I could put that towards a Pro eventually, instead of just a controller.
And that's the thing too. Like, even if you're going out there and like you're a big gamer, like going out there buying this Elite controller, you must really like Gears of War, because that controller, again, $200, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, it is an expensive tool. I'm gonna say it's a tool, man. Is it a complete necessity? No. And I think what a lot of people have to understand, a lot of people are like, we want an Elite controller. We want an Elite controller. It's more like you want.
Yeah.
The one thing that Microsoft's in this position, and the reason why they can do things like an Elite controller, is because they're in second place. When you are a company and you're not doing good, you're in the red, you look to the little things that can make you money. Instead of going on these big projects, because if that big project doesn't pan out, you lose millions of dollars. But if you go towards like saying, hey, we want to partner, that's why like in the beginning with the PlayStation 4, you saw a lot of indie games. It's because they're small investments, but have big returns if you market them correctly. So seeing something like an Elite controller, the reason why the Elite controller exists is because they know that the online community is strong with the Xbox Live community, and that they can go out there and make this controller. It's a small investment because you're not doing too many big wild things, and you're going to get a return on it because people are going to buy it. So for me, as a gamer, looking at this controller, I like it, Kyle. I gotta say, it's scary how much I like it.
It's enticing you?
I got a God of War. Oh.
And the other thing why I don't think I need it is I'm a single player person. And a controller of that leads more to multiplayer gaming.
Here's the thing. PlayStation controllers suck. How many of these do I own? How many do I actually use?
I was gonna say, like, will this new Elite controller, whatever the official name is will it fix your thumbstick problem? Will you actually not break it?
Oh man, you're seeing a man break down. You're seeing a man with a problem break down.
I mean, and another reason why this is cool is this brings another step closer to PlayStation ripping off Xbox, where I can design my own color and controller and have it shipped to me. I want that more than anything. If that news ever gets announced from PlayStation, I will be through the moon excited.
And you know what? I would even go on Scruff's website right fucking now, and I'd make it the Elite Controllers color.
You would make a dating profile and everything just to get the controller.
I'm gonna look up all the hot available singles in my.
Where do I put in what color I want my buttons to be?
I don't get it. Yeah, I enjoy long walks on the beach. Who is this guy, Conebone69? Who's this guy?
Leave me alone. I just want to design my controller.
God. All right, Kyle, I'll get it. Is that what's going to make you happy?
Sure. You do you, boo-boo.
Yeah, I'm going to buy this. I'm saving up. I looked at it. I was just like, how many controllers have I bought? How many controllers will I buy? At least 2 more after this one. I know it. I feel it in my bones. You look at it. Got the God of War controller, analog to the left, the analog stick to the left analog stick, words, sticks. Why the fuck? So you know what? I'm done. I'm going to buy this controller. Sweet. And I swear to Shu, I know I've taken his name in vain. If I get a fucking controller sticky situation, I'm gonna flip. I'm just gonna flip.
When does this release again? Is there a date yet?
August. Sometime in August.
Oh, so this year, okay.
Yeah, let me get it right here. Let me pre-order.
It says late summer 2018.
Yeah, so just enough time for whatever multiplayer shooter that I'm into.
And interesting to note, it looks like you can only pre-order it at GameStop, as well as the gaming website. So
I mean, it's a nice enough. It actually looks like the colorblind controller on the 360, who used to be my favorite controller. So I'm game. Yeah, I'm gonna get this controller. What am I talking about? I don't have that willpower, Kyle.
We need to hear what your thoughts on it. So of course you need to get it.
Because I'm an elite no scope sniper player, man. I'm esports.
Again, we're at the beginning of the episode. You're at the top 1% of Fortnite. You need 1%. The tools.
I'm looking down on everybody. I am the Illuminati of Fortnite.
You're gonna mod this new controller where if you press X you win. That's just what it is.
I just snap my fingers and half of the team. It's my way to victory every time. With that said, we have one more piece of news. Well, not news, segment. Again, it's a little segment that I like to call P.S. I love you. I love you, gang. And I want to say, especially to the Make Us Better community, you guys and gals truly do. I'm not going to screw up this time. Make this show better week in, week out. Kyle has a surprise waiting for him he doesn't even know about. So let me tell you something. Show's going to get so much better, and it's all because of patreon.com/makeusbetter. Seriously, the past few weeks, Kyle, has been insane. We have 5 new people in the month of May either up their pledges or have pledged to make us better. And so every time we get a new sub or we get someone who's up their pledge, we want to give these people a shout out. Now, some I'm going to repeat, but this is a special PS. I love all you guys. First off, Antonio Guillen. He messaged in twice with awesome schlong. Amazing. Thank you so much. Our $3 new subscriber. Thank you so much. Thank you, Trash Turkey, which I believe you're from Nintendo Nostalgia. Well, welcome to the trophy room. Let me tell you, we're not as edited or as shiny as that podcast, but goddamn, do we put some effort into it. With that, we also have the Nintendo guru himself, Bobby Pauls. In his memory, someone has pledged $3 every single month. We also have Dallas Robbins, which I want to know where you're from, Mr. Dallas, because I believe you're our newest patron. So, who are you? And then last but not least, and I know I mentioned him last episode, but thank you so much, Timothy Olf. Thank you so very much for, again, being a patron, because you don't have to do this, and that's the beauty of it, is you do it because you love it so much, and it helps us out so amazingly. And that ends P.S. I love you, to say that this has been sponsored by the Make Us Better community at patreon.com/Make Us Better. And big thanks to our platinum executive producers, Corey Hicks, Mr. Corey Hicks, from twitch.tv/change this URL, chicks_18. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Corey. And Mr. Mark Moody from youtube.com/Mr. Moody Reviews, the glorious movie show. Go check them out. I'm going to be on probably their next episode because we're going to talk about Solo.
Oh, sweet.
The Star Wars story. Please don't suck. Please don't suck. We have the Quest for Pixels gang as our gold executive producers, Mr. Sheldon Benedict, Mr. Tony Baker. Thank you both so much. They have some quality stuff over there too. Please check them out, Quest for Pixels. And then we have our gentlemen and gentle ladies producers, Dude427, Martini Jean, Aaron Doherty, David Ray, Jesse Armstrong, Joel Brooks, James Johnson, Nick Militia, and hey, Tim Alpha, such a name. It's so nice I had to say it thrice. Thank you all so much. And with all that said, Kyle, where can they find you?
Oh, man. Right now, you can find me sitting here in my room on the interwebs. You can find me at WhoDatNinja73. Look for the green beard. You can find my kind of funny community show called Best Friends Talk Funny at BFS Talk Funny. It's on iTunes, Google Play. Go ahead and do the podcasting thing. Rate it 5 stars. Review it. Let me know what you like, what you didn't like. And newest episode went live today as of recording with the one and only Mario Not Bros. So go ahead and give it a listen.
I've only heard of this man many a times. A legend.
He is a ball of positive energy, and it was such a great time talking to him. So
I like it. Well, you know what? Go check out that episode. You know where to go. And with that, you could check us out here at the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, okay,
What?
Podbean, wherever you could find a podcast service. Go there, you'll find us. Rate us 5 stars on iTunes or whatever podcast app you got. Rate us the highest ever. It really helps us out. It grows this community. There's so many new faces that I see, and it's because of people going out there, going above the bar, going beyond, and doing that 5 stars, writing those reviews. So thank you all so much. And yeah, you can find us at Bad Bit Games, PS Trophy Room. We have, again, this is the last week. Go ahead, go to twitter.com, make a profile, and then go to the PS Trophy Room on Twitter. Next week, we'll announce the winner on the show. Follow us there, announce it on the show. You get a copy of your PlayStation game of choice.
Now, Joe, do they still need to retweet the pinned tweet?
You can. Yeah, certainly.
Sure.
That's definitely going to help. So go, retweet that pinned tweet. Damn it, I said it, so do it. So with that, find me at Mr. Badbit Games or Mr. Badbit on Twitter. God, I can't think right now. I'm so out of it. I did 2 podcasts in a row. Okay, someone give me a trophy. Let me tell you something. With all that
1%.
Mr. Illuminati himself. With all that said, keep hunting and keep playing PlayStation.